This video is sponsored by boot.dev. There are over 27,000 Magic the Gathering cards, and with what feels like new cards getting added to the game every other month, it's getting harder and harder to find what you're looking for, especially if you're looking for a hidden gem for your commander deck. So in this video, I wanted to cover the most powerful Magic the Gathering search tool, Scryfall. Plus, show you one of the most underutilized features on the site, so you can find what you need and what you didn't even know you needed faster. For those that don't know, Scryfall is effectively Gatherer on steroids. Not only that, it contains links to downloadable, high-quality card images, which you see in every video on this channel. It also has relevant links to EDH Rec, other deck building tools, and pricing. But perhaps my favourite thing on this whole site is the search bar. And this is what sets it apart from every other site. Now, before I get into this, I know there are some people who are going to say you can use the advanced search function. And yes, you totally can, but the search bar is one of those features, like the command line interface for my programming viewers, that once you start using it and understanding how fast and specific you can be, you won't want to stop using it. The very basic functionality of the search bar is it simply searches card names. For example, if you typed forest and hit enter, Scryfall would return every card that had the word forest in its name, including if the word could be found inside another word, for example, the forest in Misty Rainforest. Scryfall also has a suggestion feature. If you're a terrible speller like me, Scryfall will ask you if you meant a certain card based off your misspelling. Now let's talk about how to unlock the secret powers of Scryfall. Scryfall syntax. Syntax is basically code that the search engine understands. Now bear with me here, as we're going to start with the basics and work our way up. Understanding the fundamentals is crucial. Speaking of fundamentals, when I'm not editing these videos, I work in IT, and I owe a lot of that to self-studying coding. So when the sponsor of this video, boot.dev, reached out and I saw what they do, I honestly wish I had something like this when I was studying. Boot.dev is an online learning platform that teaches you how to code from start to finish. You can learn Python, Go, JavaScript, and more. When I first started out my coding journey, I often found myself being unsure of what to do next, or worse yet, being stuck in tutorial hell. Boot.dev removes all of that and gives you a nice clear path while helping you make your own real-life projects. How about building your own version of asteroids, or a Pokédex? One of my favourite things about boot.dev is Boots, the AI wizard bear. It can help you out with any of the curriculum questions, as well as answer any other questions about coding. Or you can join the boot.dev Discord to chat to real people and get some help or feedback on your work. Now you can sign up to boot.dev for free and view all the content, as well as get a demo of the interactive features. Then you can use my code Attack on Cardboard to get 25% off your first month or first year subscription. Links in the description down below. Thanks again to boot.dev. To start our Scryfall journey, we're going to start with the keyword O for Oracle text. If we head to the search bar and type O, open quote, and then type a specific phrase we're looking for, in this case, counter target spell, close quote, and hit enter, Scryfall will search every single card's Oracle text for that specific phrase. To clarify, Oracle text is the most up-to-date rules text for a card. The original Wrath of God says, bury all creatures, but as you probably know, the Oracle text says, destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Editor Attack on Cardboard here. Actually, the 4th edition of Wrath of God said, bury all creatures. The original alpha printing of Wrath of God said, all creatures in play are destroyed and cannot regenerate. It's also important to note that the Oracle search term doesn't search through things like reminder text. So if we looked up the phrase, you may cast this spell for, because perhaps we're looking for cards with alternative costs, it would only bring up the playtest card, Graveyard Dig. But if we instead search for full Oracle text by simply adding an F to our keyword, we now get a bunch of cards with alternative costs. So to recap, we use O for Oracle text and FO for full Oracle text. Okay, now we're going to build on this foundation. Let's say we're building a Varn Goldwaker Treasure Commander deck, and we want to see all of the cards that make treasure tokens. Well, we know that the spell or ability is going to say the word treasure, so let's search that. O:treasure. Okay, so that brings up 346 results, and we can see some problems. First, we've got alchemy cards that are no use to us. We've also got green and blue cards that we can't use. So let's narrow down this search. To do so, we can add some more keywords to our search. Let's start with F for format. Simply type F:, and then the format of your choice. I generally use C for Commander. This will remove all the alchemy and silver bordered cards from the search results, because they're not legal in Commander. Okay, that brings us down from 346 to 314 cards. Let's keep going. The next obvious step is to get rid of those green and blue cards. So there's two keywords we can use here. The first is C for color. So here you can either type the names of the colors or simply use the WUBERG abbreviations. So if we wanted to search up Mardu colors, we could either go C:RWB, or we could go C:"Mardu. The color keyword also accepts the common names of color groups. Now we've got two problems here. First, using just a colon here brings up cards that contain the Mardu colors. So that would include 5 color cards, which is what we don't want. And secondly, it doesn't bring up any cards that are just red, white, black, or any 2 color combinations of them. Now I could teach you how to use the comparison expressions here, but I personally think that's a waste of time, especially when we can just use a single keyword to solve this whole problem. Let's check out the keyword ID. ID is short for color identity, and in Commander, you can obviously only include the cards in your deck that match your commander's color identity. So let's add this to our search. And now we get cards that are colorless or have red, white, or black, or any combination of those colors. So this has now dropped us down from 314 cards to 230. And we can keep getting more specific. What if we wanted to search for a certain type of card? There's of course a keyword for that. T for type. We can type T:"artifact, and that will bring up 43 cards that have the artifact type. The type keyword can also search up subtypes too, so if we wanted to look up vehicles, we could just swap artifact for vehicle. Or maybe we want to see what other Mardu-based treasure legends there are, so we can simply add legendary instead. Okay, recap time. If we're searching for a particular phrase or word on a card, we can use O, and if we want to check the reminder text, we use FO. Don't forget your quotation marks. For format, we use F. For color, we use C. But remember, it will search explicitly for those colors unless you use some comparison expressions. So usually, I like to use ID for color identity. Next, we have T for type. Now here's a couple more that I regularly use. If I'm searching for a particular keyword, I'll use KW. And if I happen to remember the set abbreviation, I'll use the set keyword. As I said, these 7 keywords are what I use on a regular basis when searching through cards on Scryfall. These are the basics you should know. And if at any point you need a refresher, you can always click the syntax button at the top of Scryfall to see the full reference sheet. Okay, now let's move on to the advanced stuff, and Scryfall's ultimate weapon. Let's say you're looking for some removal for your Varn Goldwaker deck, but the only removal spell you know about is Doomblade, and nothing else. Let's start there, on the Doomblade page. Just below the card, in the toolbox section, is our secret weapon. Open on Scryfall Tagger. Let's click that. This will take us to the Tagger page for Doomblade. Scryfall Tagger is a community project that looks to categorize both what Magic cards do, as well as the artwork found on them. For example, if you wanted to build a commander deck where everyone is looking left in the artwork, there's a tag for that. Or maybe you wanted to build a trumpet deck. Well, there's a tag for that too. Or in the case of looking for more removal options, on the Doomblade page, we can see there's a couple of tags that might interest us. Removal, Removal Creature, and Removal Creature Destroy. Let's click the removal tag for now. This will take us to a page with every card in the game that's classified as removal. As the description at the top of the page mentions, spot or limited removal. Now once I found a certain tag I want to look through, I click this button here. This will take me back to the main Scryfall search engine, and it will even give me a keyword for searching tags. Here it is, OTag. You can also use the keyword function for the same result. From here, I can add other keywords that we've learnt to narrow down this search. Let's add color identity, commander format, we want it to be an instant, and for it to be able to target non-land permanents. Now this gives us a nice list of cards to browse through. Here's another tip. With this search term we've entered, there's an excellent piece of removal that I noticed that's not here. Generous Gift. Now the reason it's not there is because we've told Scryfall to explicitly look for the oracle text that says non-land, and Generous Gift can hit any permanent. So here's how we can fix that. If we're wanting to find something with one condition or another, we can use parentheses and the OR keyword. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's change our search condition to search for both non-land and permanent in the oracle text. And now with this, we get cards like Chaos Warp and Generous Gift added to our results. Now there are some cards that have slipped into this search that perhaps you weren't expecting to see. And to deal with those, we need to cover regular expressions, which is a topic that needs its own video. Now, that's everything you need to know to kick off your searching on Scryfall. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video if you learned something and if you want to learn about regular expressions next. Thanks again to boot.dev for sponsoring this video, and thanks to you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.